Hi. Another update time. The fossil farmer is now, well, has been teamwork some already. I'll just quickly show you what I do with it, and then I'll go into gear and talk about some crafts I'm doing and did. So basically you just, run fast. You've probably seen a lot of people do this already before. I couldn't really do this before recently because of items that I didn't have. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Slap in your flasks, then you zoom a bit, hopefully get some good loot. Usually fossils, currency, etc. So let me just finish this up quick. Ooh, that was a lucky one. Okay, so we get screaming eagles because we're gonna go zoom. There's also a claw called Allure. That is slightly better than the screaming eagle. 15% movement speed while facing, which is permanent as long as you just click your face from every now and then, or if you had a watcher's eye for you have facing while affected by haste. Okay, so this would be an upgrade. Ichimonji is a good item too, but I don't think it's really needed in hardcore. Basically, you get the increased effect of buffs, some reduced mana reservation, but you lose movement speed. So you get increased effect of buffs, so that's 20%. And that means your face run here gets, well, 20% buff effect, so increased visibility, and that's the main reason why people use it. It also gives some movement speed. Sure, it's still less movement speed than these, and if you had already, it would be even less. So it's linked with duration and efficacy because this has skill effect duration, and then enhance. I would have to use blood magic on it, but on my skill tree, I take the leadership here. This gives me the movement speed and the reduced mana reservation, so I can just have it on cast on my mana. Doesn't matter, I can always get it back. So that means I can use enhance. So level 4 enhance would give you quite a bit of extra movement speed. Other than that, just a random life regen. Marble amulet, Kikasaru. This is like 77 flat regen at my level, which is nice. I don't have a second Kikasaru. If I had, I don't know if I would even use it. I don't really feel like I need it. I get to like 50 stacks of darkness before it really does start anything to me. And I'm never in the dark for that long anyways. And in case I am, I can just toss a flare or use a flask. Like I can use my flask like on average like 5 times before it runs out. But it's around like 30 or something when it starts to take damage, yeah, and then it ramps up from there. But there really hasn't even ever been a situation when I'm actually ever being close to, getting into having issues. Right. Some evasion. My belt has flask effect and life recovery rate. This was actually, I was trying to craft the belt for the Blade Vortex guy, but ended up getting, this was like a alt regaling, and I just ended up having the pretty damn good mods, and I just didn't want to roll over it, and it just happens to be a perfect for this guy. The life recovery is just 20% more life regen. Then I got my 7 league steps from the Barondus manor that I talked about in the last video. And the reason why I couldn't do this build is because of the Queen of the Forest. Right, so it has minus 25 movement speed. kind of built in like -3 or something. I don't remember what the actual number is, the hidden modifier. And then you get 1% movement speed per 450 evasion up to 100%. So when you have 45k, like 45,000 evasion, you're getting 75 or 72% of this chest. So it's pretty massive. So the goal is to get enough evasion from your gear and skill tree that you hit the 45,000, and then it caps the movement speed you get from this, and then everything else comes from just, you know, that's some flask effect, like a movement speed. There's movement speed from here. Sadly, I didn't have a high item level Quicksilver tool on Alchemist, but it doesn't really matter. I'm like 400 movement speed, which is, it already feels like it's a bit too much for me to do this right now. It's like 300 alone is like far more than needed, really, and you can actually obtain that pretty damn easy. Like, you don't even necessarily need this chest to get the 300 movement speed, but it's just pretty much the best in slot. So then for the, oh, I guess I could show the skill tree a bit. So the skill tree is all the flask nodes, one duration cluster, because I want my phase run to last longer than the cooldown. So you see the cooldown is 4 seconds and the buff lasts 4.21 seconds. So as long as I just keep clicking anything pretty much, it stays there. It just stays up. So I can run through more like enemies and shit.
Yes.
I have a random blade vortex. So if I need to like I was searching like good places to run, so the random blade vortex just helps. And sometimes, yeah, I don't really kill monsters, so it doesn't really matter. But when I'm doing like searching for the places to run, it's really nice. And as you saw, I run a stone that started from here and went here. So the reason why I do like this is, so when I go there, there's only one way, like, okay, so it goes 3 different ways, right? It can go here, here, or here. But because this area is already completed, so it's lit, it has the lights, I just like immediately recognize where to go, and then I just follow the lights for the all the way to the next checkpoint, and then just recreate the instance. In softcore, people are doing setups where they just have very low life or ES pool and crazy region, so that the darkness cannot kill them, but they occasionally die because of the like monsters randomly hitting them or something like that. So that's not an issue for me really at all, and I don't really feel like running in the dark would be that much more efficient. Sure, it makes it available so that you could run higher level zones, because whenever you get hit, you died, so it doesn't matter, right? So that's where you get the Inchimonji setups. But in hardcore, that, you know, occasionally dying isn't exactly a great idea. So you have to adjust a bit, right? So yeah, there's the build. Oh, I guess I could show the tendencies. So nature's for movement speed, obviously. And nature's adrenaline for movement speed, boon for the extra flask sustain. You could go for alchemist to get an element immunity, but I don't really feel like I need it. I have freeze immunity, which is really the only one that matters on my flask already, and I don't, first of all, I don't get hit, so I don't get frozen, and this is like permanent uptime already. And then I would spend the extra 2 points from Merciless App to flash charge gained, effect, and duration. If I were to do Uber Lab 2 before I respected this, I would probably just take Flask Effect here and then Flask Effect here, instead of taking any of the other things. But yeah, then for the craft. So I have a lot of, I got a lot of fossils yesterday, and this is just the fossils that I haven't used. And I used a lot of fossils yesterday. I corrupted over 40 amulets in attempt to get a +1 max resist. I ended up getting a +1 curse on this one, but I really don't want to use it. I really just want the +1 max res. But this could be useful, right? I'm in a belt. This belt was made just by spamming aberrants. So the things I were looking for is at least 1 chaos resist roll and the increased effect of flasks. I need the T1, so minimum of 8 flask effect. And I got lucky and I hit 2 chaos resist rolls, even though the other one is really low. But I had life with an open suffix, so I could craft the flask effect duration. So this is pretty much just the best in slot belt for my Blade Vortex when I'm delving, because of the chaos resist, and I believe I'm at like 52% chaos resist now while my flask is up. So getting the amulet, the chaos resist, for example, this one here, pretty much caps it. Because I will still get a bit extra effect once I respec the Blade Vortex from Adrenaline to extra chaos. Chaos resist from my Atsiris Promise from this node. It also gives me +1 max resist and a bit of extra damage from Promise and Taste of Hate. And it also gives me extra % physical damage taken as cold instead from the Taste of Hate, making me have up 90% damage shift. So 90% of the physical hits I take is actually from elemental. So that's really good. As I talked, I've been doing a lot of amulets. So that's a minimum of like 2 fossils each, because I'm doing Pristine for more life, and then I'm doing the Aberrant for the more chaos. Ideally, I would be doing like crafting a Elder Amulet, because Elder Amulet has gain extra damage as physical, which is pretty damn powerful. And it's pretty high likely to hit it because of the aberrants, right? But so basically, I'll just do this until I hit a chaos resist roll, hopefully with a life roll as well. And now I of course don't hit it while I'm doing this video, but yeah, I've hit something like this. It's a bit sad it had a really low life roll. So yeah, we didn't get lucky, but yeah, so didn't get even 1 to corrupt. I kind of gathered, actually, we could still hit it. Oof. If that elemental resist was chaos resist, I'd be happy. You can see how rare the chaos resist roll is, even when you're using aberrants. Obviously, I could do a non-shaped or non-elder amulet instead, and it would have a higher chance to get the resist. But since I'm corrupting the amulet whenever I get it, I was like, well, let's just try and see if we get some big ticket items instead. With like, there could be elemental pen, there could be the extra damage as cold, so yeah. And then there's reduced mana reserved, which would potentially leave, open up a skill point for my Blade Vortex, because I have this node, or allow me to run Empower on Purity of Lightning for extra 2% max resist. So that's pretty damn nice. I craft a couple of weapons too, because I'm getting the Pristines from the Magma Fissures, and while I'm doing Magma Fissures, I'm also getting Scorched, Prismatic, and Enchanted Fossils, which I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet. But so this was the old weapon I was using on the Pathfinder, like the Blade Vortex guy, and I just corrupted it for an Onslaught, which is pretty damn good. I made another weapon too, which is not corrupted yet. I exalted the bleed on this, and you see it has a 8% fire pen, which came from the Scorched. So this was literally crafted with Bound and Scorched. Bound for the minion damage. Ideally, I would be using Prismatic, because that's more elemental modifiers, and I could hit a prefix for increased elemental damage, which would mean that I can get gain physical as extra fire, increase minion damage, increase elemental damage, the explode suffix, which is actually very underrated stat, I feel like. And my Pathfinder's explosions are actually around like 30% of the base life the monsters had, with 22% penetration now. They are really nice for killing like rare monsters in packs and shit like that in Delves. But obviously they lack a bit if there's like only one target that you're fighting, right? But I got another weapon, which I'm really happy about. And that's this one. This one rolled with minion damage, the explosion, global pen, not just fire pen, but global pen, that's shaper suffix. And it had another mod, it had a suffix, like a random suffix, that I annulled away, so that's like a 25% chance to null. Then I did Katarina 8 for cannot roll attack mods, and I just double exalted it. I could have gone with just one exalt for the gain physical as extra fire, but since this weapon is holding my righteous fire, it boosted up the level, so instead of having 39% more spell damage, now it's 40, so it's a tiny bit of damage increase there too. And the pen is really nice. And obviously, since I had the existing weapon already, with good corruption, well, I just corrupted this in hopes of getting something nice. And in case it breaks, I could just use the old one. Like, sadly, didn't have anything. But yeah. Right now, I'm in the process of making the amulet. I'll probably play without even getting the +1 corruption. It's actually going to hide out so you see this resistance. And you can see I'm not capped lightning resist right now. So I'm hoping to hit the life with the chaos resist and an open suffix so I can just craft the lightning resist. And if I get like a good damage mod, like the gain physical extra gold, which we hit at least once while I was showing the crafting process, I might just use that until I get something, like until I eventually hit the +1 max resist. But in the case I hit the +1 max resist on a non-lightning resist crafted amulet, I might actually need to recraft like this to get extra. I think it goes up to 13%. Yeah, up to 13%, which means with a well-rolled one, I could be gaining extra 14% resist on this, and then eventually get a Purity of Lightning to 21, that's another resist, or 2, I don't remember how it rounds up after Flask effect and everything. I mean, Aura effect. But I can get it to like 76, something like that. Good enough to play, really. Even though, well, mapping, I really would like to have the capped 83, because I'm using a lightning coil, right? So a lot of damage I take is lightning, like physical damage I take is lightning. But yeah, if I get the weapon, like the amulet upgrade, at that point its character is starting to be pretty much done, except for like a corrupted coil. I'm still in the process of linking the other coil I have. It's like almost 1k fuses now. And the moment it's 6 links, I'm just gonna insta-val it and hope for something good. There is a lot of good corruptions in there for me, actually. Let me actually show you. But the chances of me getting something useful, if the corruption hits the first 20, so it has like a 25% chance to be either white sockets, brick, no chains, or corruption mod, I believe. And then when it hits the corruption mod, so the 25% chance, then we have a lot of good options. We have +1 targeted gems. This is the same as +2. Actually, this is slightly better than +2 because this also applies to support gems, like all the 4 support gems I have plus the Empower. So it gives me +2 levels with +1 to all support gems, which all gain a more multiplier. Well, except First Lightning. But yeah, so that's really good. Increased damage is really good. Max resist, obviously amazing. Reduced chaos damage taken. This would be insane. All of these are really good. Reduced extra damage from crit strikes is pretty fucking massive. Duration gems, this is just a straight up +2. AoE gems, that's a straight up +2. Then we have aura gems, curse, trap mine, Warcry, and projectile ones that are bad, or like they don't do anything. Then we have max life, which is nice, and ES. So out of all of these 18 potential corruptions, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corruptions that are bad. So if the 25% chance hits, or I guess rather 51st, so either corruption or a no chains, then we can corrupt the other one too. So I'd say we have a decent chance of getting something useful in case I do get the 6 link on it before this character dies. But in the case if I get the amulet without lightning resist, then I'll just bench this weapon until I somehow manage to get the lightning resist and just use this instead, because this has the lightning resist, right? It just doesn't have the pen, but the survivability I would get from the corruption would be so damn nice that I would use it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and on the path, like the fossil farmer, when I did Merciless Lab, apparently I was the fastest that day, and I got another another lab reward. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it, what I had in mind for this update. It's pretty long, but I basically showcased you the build I was doing, in case somebody wants to do it. It's been actually quite relaxing to just run in the darkness, get the stuff, and you know, then corrupt my stuff in hopes of getting something nice. And did end up crafting quite a few nice items yesterday. This is insane. This is also insane. I could drop Gold Snap from my Catchment Damage Taken for an elemental weakness, and then recolor the chest to have something else instead of hypothermia, because then I can guarantee to chill anything, like really chunky guys later on. But I could use something like Elemental Focus instead, which is a massive damage increase too. But then I would obviously lose the chill effect, I would lose shocks, but I don't really shock and chill the guys that I would need to anyways, so it doesn't matter in that case. And then the elemental weakness would be just a crazy damage increase, right? But I just really want to get the +1 max resist, or pen the mana reservation or the gained physical attacks gold instead than the curse, because I feel like the setup the Pathfinder, like the Blade Vortex has right now, is pretty nice. And if I hit the 600 with it, I think I'm gonna just do like a short video guide on how the what's the idea and how the build works and yada yada. I've been asked about it a lot. Yeah. Holy fuck, 23 minutes? Okay, I'm out. Hopefully you enjoyed. Bye.